Flat Earth is clearly one of those things that isn't going away. No matter how many times we demonstrate basic physics, geography, or even common sense, it keeps coming back. And that's not because the evidence for Flat Earth is good, it's blooming awful, but it's because the tactics used by Flat Earthers are very good at creating doubt. So today we're diving into their toolkit. Not the science, we've done that before, but their rhetorical toolkit. This is 5 tricks that Flat Earthers use to fool you, how they work, and why they seem so convincing if you're not ready for them. Hello all and welcome along to another video with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, on with today's video and 5 tricks that Flat Earthers use to fool you. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. There are a lot of tricks that Flat Earthers employ, but these are the 5 which I think they use most often. And we start with number 1. The perspective trick. This one comes up whenever you ask a Flat Earther, why do ships disappear bottom first over the horizon, or why are the bottom of those buildings blocked by the horizon? Immediately the word perspective comes out of a Flat Earther's mouth. Now of course they are partly right. Perspective does make distant objects appear smaller. It's why street lamps appear to shrink as they line the road. But here's the thing, perspective shrinks everything evenly. A ship wouldn't disappear bottom first. It would just get smaller as a whole. But when a ship does disappear behind the horizon, what do we see? The bottom goes first. You can zoom in, sure, and get a bit more detail, but what you never recover is the part already occluded by the curve. And here is the trick. Flat Earthers know this, but by yelling perspective loud enough, they plant a seed of doubt. And they will of course say that zooming into a ship on the horizon will always bring it back into view. They rely on you not looking further into it, but then when you do, you can see a consistent pattern. Only a curved surface explains a bottom first disappearance. The perspective trick is all a smokescreen. Right, moving on to number 2 then. Cherry-picked quotes. This one is almost charming in its effort. Flat Earthers love quoting famous scientists, usually out of context to make it seem like someone like Einstein, for example, has doubts over Earth's motion. Since then, I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment. Sounds damning, right? But here is the full quote. Since then, I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment, though the Earth is revolving around the Sun. What he meant by this quote is that motion is relative. You can't say something is moving unless you define a reference point. That's physics 101. But Flat Earthers take the first half of that quote and then chuck the rest in the bin. It's like quoting someone saying, I don't believe, and then just stopping there, when the full sentence is, I don't believe the Earth is flat. Now this is called quote mining. You look for something vague, clip it and then pretend it means something else entirely. And on the surface, it does sound authoritative, but it's dishonest. And when someone builds their entire argument on half quotes, it tells you everything you need to know. That moves us nicely on to number 3, sciencey sounding gibberish. This is a techno-babble trick, and this is a Flat Earther using it.
As I say, second law of thermodynamics is the entropy law. If you have an available volume for a gas to fill, then the gas will fill it. That's what gas does. It expands in all directions to fill the available volume. As I say, it's called entropy. It's a natural law, not a belief. How can you have gas pressure without a container? We'd need a demonstration of that, as it's asserted that the Earth is a pressurised system without any containment, and that violates natural law by demonstration. Easy to demonstrate, it's natural law. It applies always.
Now as you can see, they throw around real science terms like thermodynamics, entropy, angular resolution, but they use them like confetti with no understanding. For example, let's take the second law of thermodynamics. They claim that it says Earth's atmosphere can't sit next to the vacuum of space. They say that it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. But what they miss, of course, is that the Earth's atmosphere, the entire atmosphere, is held in place by Earth's gravity. That is the force resisting diffusion into space. And then what about entropy? Yes, systems do trend towards disorder, but that doesn't mean your living room's going to explode. Systems have constraints. Gravity is a constraint. So is energy input, temperature, and dozens of other factors. It's like arguing that your car shouldn't work Because friction exists. You're missing the part where there's other forces at play. This tactic works because most people don't remember the second law of thermodynamics from school. And to be honest, why would you? So when someone confidently misuses it, it can sound convincing. But when you slow down and dissect it all, it falls apart. And it's the same with other scientific words and phrases. The smarter flat earthers will use this tactic all the time. If you've had no further education in science, they can sound compelling, and is certainly one of the more dangerous tricks they use in trying to convince the masses. Right, let's move on to trick number 4, which is when they say it's all CGI. This one drives me up the wall. They just claim that everything's fake. It's like an escape hatch for them. And probably one of the most common tricks that they use. And actually, it's intellectually lazy, and also probably the most difficult trick to counter. Because it doesn't try to explain anything, it just dismisses everything. Photo of Earth? Fake. NASA rocket launch? CGI. Amateur telescope footage? NASA shill. It is truly endless. Here's the issue. Anything can be dismissed as fake if you truly want to. And that's not skepticism, by the way, that's denial. It's like arguing that it's not raining because you're stood under an umbrella not getting wet. And think about the scale of this one. Thousands of engineers and astronauts and observatories and universities, backyard astronomers, all in on it. Not one credible leak, not one defector with hard evidence. It's just vibes. Not to mention, why spend billions on launches and satellites if you're just going to fake it? Just release an old photo with a blue filter and save the cash. The real trick here, of course, is not disproving the globe, it's sowing seeds of doubt. Over and over and over and over. If they can convince you not to trust anything, then nothing you get shown will matter. And that brings us nicely onto trick number 5, gut feelings over evidence. This is maybe the sneakiest trick of all, the appeal to intuition. They say, trust your senses, or the earth looks flat to me, or I can't feel myself spinning. And yeah, of course you don't feel like you're spinning. You're on a giant, smooth moving sphere in a mostly uniform gravitational field. There's no sudden acceleration to detect. But that's the genius of this trick. The earth doesn't look curved at a local level. And yeah, it doesn't feel like we're moving. And therefore, trust your senses. But let's be honest, your senses are only good for local, everyday stuff. And they can be easily tricked. More on the senses in another video. And of course, you don't feel the motion in a smooth flight. You don't sense magnetic fields, and you don't see bacteria, but they are there. Science exists because our intuition is limited. The sun looked like it moved around us until we discovered the heliocentric system. Heavy things should fall faster than light ones until Galileo chucked things off the Leaning Tower. Flat Earth weaponizes how things seem because it sounds more relatable than a physics book. But in science, seeming doesn't make it so. Measuring does. So those are the 5 tricks I've highlighted today, but there are of course many, many more. Not experiments or discoveries or evidence, just rhetorical sleight of hand. And if you've ever felt like a flat earther's made a good point, then that are those tricks working. But now you know how to spot them. So next time you hear ships disappear because of perspective or it's all CGI, you know exactly what's going on. If you like this breakdown, then please do share this video. The more people who see how these tricks work, the less power they have. And of course, subscribe for more of the same and fewer tricks. So that's it, we're all done and dusted. Thanks so much for watching today. As ever, it's very much appreciated. As I said, please do subscribe. And if you like this video in particular, please give it a big thumbs up. I've been Simon Dan, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow where we take a look at a new flat earther we've not seen before, whilst he's in an interview / discussion. It should be fun. See you then.